How do? I am John, aka the Physicist, and today we are going to be talking about how to determine what your shelf life should be. It's an important question. It has two big areas that we need to consider. You're not going to get every answer, but it will give you the right track to head down. So follow along. Let's see what happens. I'm John, the Physicist. This is the Physicist YouTube channel, and here is our introduction. Welcome to the factory. Okay, so shelf life has two things. The shelf life, just to make sure we're on the same hymn sheet, as it were, is it says best before date on it. For beverage products, you can almost certainly be having a best before end date. Now, there are two main things to consider here: commercial and technical. Now, the commercial builds on the technical, and the technical is your foundation. Okay. Technically speaking, it's about preservation. Commercially speaking, it's about flavor. If you get the technical bit right, the commercial bit will be the bit that determines how long you actually want to have your product on sale for before its shelf life runs out. Now, how do you determine the technical bit? The real answer is there's no way of me to be telling you that. I can say that most products are probably okay for 6 to 9 months as long as you've made the right assumptions about your preservation method. But the reality is, if you want to know, you have to test it. Do microbial testing after a week, after a month, after 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Continue until you want to know how long it's going to be for. There is something called advanced shelf life testing, which will speed it up, put it in a heat chamber and mimics longer shelf life time scales. I'm not going to jump into all that today. We're not going to be talking about how to do microbial testing. And you can find some details on that on smallscalebottling.com. There's some resources there which give you some ideas and some labs to go to, at least if you're in the UK, but it will be relevant elsewhere as well. So that testing needs to be done to make sure that whatever preservation method you're using is working for your ingredients, whether that's high fruit juice content, low fruit juice content, whether you're using preservatives or whether you're using pasteurization. They both have different ways of working and different restrictions on them. If you've got those right, so that you're not having bottles ferment, and that does happen, don't do that. That's a bad day at the office. Don't let your product ferment. Get your technicals right. If you do those correctly, the defining characteristic of your shelf life will be, do you want it to taste like this at this point in time? If the answer is no, then you stop and your shelf life comes back from that point. So really specifically, what should your shelf life be? I can't answer that. If you came to me as a customer and put money in my hand, I can't answer that. The only way of finding out is, first, do the technical due diligence. Make sure that your preservation method, know the story, is working, and then it'll be your commercial consideration, which is why nobody can tell you what it should be. Even if technically we can say, hey, you've got a 50-year shelf life. Would you want to be drinking a product in 50 years? It'll taste bad, I can tell you that. So it's a commercial consideration, as long as your fundamentals are correct, and that will depend on what you would like it to taste like. As a general rule of thumb, when you are starting off, assume 6 to 9 months. If you are going to be pasteurizing it, which is expensive, you'll probably be able to get away with a bit longer than that. But risk mitigate for yourselves. If you're going to be selling small amounts, often make the shelf life low until you can actually try it and see what it's going to be for yourself. If you're going to be making a really large amount, if you're going to be investing a lot of money, don't do that without knowing what you want it to be. Do the testing. It will lengthen how long it takes to get your product to market. And that's a good thing if you are risking your shirt or an investor's shirt, someone's shirt. If there's a shirt involved, test it, all right? Do that, and your life will be easier. So, technical considerations done, tick. Commercially speaking, you tell your bottler how long you want it to taste like that for, and that's your best before date. Here, we say to our customers, hey, if you're not going to tell us, we're going to put 3 months on it, and it may be bad in 3 months, or it may be good. That's up to you, though, and that's the important thing. It is your responsibility to get this right. So please, don't screw it up, otherwise you are going to have a bad day in the office. So hopefully that's given you some help, some guidance as to what the two main parts of shelf life are. So until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. Until then, I'm John the Physicist, signing off. See you then.